Hey everybody, this is Cinephile Mike, and I am here with day 62 of Award Season Review Season 3. 97 reviews coming at you in 97 days, covering many of the films up for awards recognition this season. Now, some of the films I am talking about may still be in theaters or be awaiting a theatrical release. All of the statistical information I am providing to you, box office, critical response, nominations, predictions, wins, everything is current within 7 days of recording and posting. And as always, these reviews are spoiler free. Also, make sure you check out my website, cinephilemike.com, where you can find the ever important and informative Where Can I Watch It spreadsheet 2024 edition, where you can find how to watch all of these films and see what awards they are winning. So when we get to the Oscars on March 2nd, you can maybe add to the conversation and know how to check those points. So today, we are wrapping up our 9th theme week, and it is all about the British Academy of Film and Television Awards, also known as the BAFTAs, the UK's answers to the Oscars, and all the films that I've been talking about this week, including today and when I wrap the week tomorrow. These films have been nominated for at least one BAFTA award and possibly others. So, for the penultimate day of BAFTA week, I am talking about Mubi's Bird. Written and directed by Oscar winner Andrea Arnold, the film debuted this past fall in limited release and at the end of said run made $147,838 domestically and an additional $1,314,929 internationally for a worldwide total of $1,462,764. Critically, the film is certified fresh on both sides with an 85% critical rating coming from 124 reviews and a popcorn meter of 78% coming from over 50 audience reviews. Award season-wise, the film is currently nominated for one BAFTA award, Outstanding British Film of the Year. A double nominee at Cannes Film Festival, Bird was nominated for the Palme d'Or and the Queer Palm. It was nominated for 7 British Independent Film Awards: Best Director, Best Supporting Performance for Barry Keoghan, Best Breakthrough Performance for the film's lead, Nikia Adams, Best Casting, Best Editing, Best Original Score, and the 7th nomination, which was a win, was in the Best Supporting Performance for Franz Rogowski. Adams was also nominated for Breakthrough Performer of the Year and Young British or Irish Performer of the Year by the London Critics Circle Film Awards, which also nominated Bird for British Irish or Irish Film of the Year. And finally, I have to reference that Bird was named one of the top 10 independent films of the year by the National Board of Review. So what is this one about? Bird is a coming-of-age story of young Bailey, 12-year-old girl played by Adams who isn't quite sure who she wants to be. Which, at 12 years old, who does know this? Living in a flat with her father, the aptly named Bug, played by Keoghan, she is very unhappy. She does not love the fact that her father is marrying another single mother who he's only known for 3 months, and she has a very fraught relationship with her mother, Peyton, played by Jasmine Jobson. Wanting to fit in with her half-brother, Hunter, whom she lives in the flat with her father and soon-to-be stepmother and half-step sibling, Hunter, played by Jason Buda, she just wants to fit in with him and his boys, who have deemed themselves vigilantes, who go out, and if they find out that someone treated someone wrong, it's up to them to right it, sometimes to rather obscene means. And, Bailey wants to be with them and wants to hang out and be one of the guys, be one of the vigilantes. She cuts her hair short, tends to dress like Hunter and his friends. And yet, while she's trying to follow them and be with them, although they're saying to her to stay away, she's not old enough, she's not ready for this, in the midst of all this, she becomes a woman and, has to deal with getting her first period and trying to figure out what this means now as she's becoming a woman. One day, while walking through the fields, she meets up with a strange man in a jacket and a kilt wearing a backpack who comes up and very friendly announces and says, "I am Bird." Bird is played by Rogowski, and he's in town because he's trying to find the apartment building that his mother once lived in, as he's trying to reconnect with the family that he lost so long ago. While a bit awkward at first. Slowly but surely, Bailey starts to warm towards Bird and keeps running into him, and eventually is able to say that her mother actually lived in the same apartment building that Bird is trying to find information about. So they're going to decide. Bailey is going to help him figure out where he comes from and help him solve these mysteries. And through all of this, they will deal with several difficult challenges, including some very uncomfortable interactions with Peyton's new boyfriend, Skate, played by Peyton's boyfriend, have to deal with the strain in the relationship that's put on her by Bug, and a little side plot where she's trying to help her half brother who has some of his own issues going on. And, really just wants to find that way. Bird really is a touching coming of age story, the likes of which, we've seen it before, but that doesn't mean that it isn't, fresh to see, depending when we put, things in a different setting. So here we get the lower middle classes of the town of Kent in the UK, which is where the film takes place, the hometown of Arnold, the writer and director. And I don't want to fully spoil some of the other things that happen in the film that kind of take us out of reality, some of these like magical realism moments. And while they're a little bit disjointed, maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, the journey of trying to find out who oneself is, always interesting to watch. And here it's interesting. The relationships in this film are hard and sometimes difficult to break through. We learn that the parents were teenagers themselves when they had kids. So we learn that I'm sorry, yes, that Hunter is 14 years old. Bug had him when he was 14, which would mean that he had Bailey when he was 16. So he was a teenager with children, and now he's a man in his mid to late 20s trying to raise preteens and teens. Difficult. Peyton has three other children from another man, Bailey's half siblings, that range between the ages of 5 and 9. So, we're not told. So, seeing, in essence, children raising children, there's no presence by grandparents. And this is hard when, people are not necessarily equipped to raise children. So, and it's hard because you see decisions made by certain characters and you want to get really annoyed, but then you realize that that's probably the best that they can do. And what really helps to pull all of this off and bring it together is the cast. Adams is stellar. She carries this entire 2-hour film. She's really not ever seen on screen. And, she deals with the adults. She tries to have this tough outer persona that we see with a look can crack any moment. And, having a friend so soft spoken that she makes in Bird, Rogowski, he's soft spoken and he's sweet and he's very light and agile. So it's like these two coming together really makes a lot of sense in a friendship. And Kyogen as the stepfather really gives another look at this, tattooed man child trying to do the best that he can. And it's funny, every time he makes a decision that really kind of gets under your skin, he'll have another moment where we see this is a man who really does care about his children. So, Arnold really has all of her characters go on a journey and takes us to a certain spot where you may or may not be happy with where everyone lands at the end, but you know, there's something for everyone when we go on those journeys. So now, I would normally talk about Oscar chances for the film, but the Oscar nominations have been announced, so there's no nominations for me to speak for here. While I did find the film enjoyable, don't necessarily know if there would have been enough to carry into the Oscar conversation for Bird. I'm happy that it was recognized by the BAFTAs. The one thing I would say that I'm a little shocked is having seen this film and seen some of the others nominated, that it didn't get more recognition at the Independent Spirit Awards the way that it did at the BIFAs. But you can't have them all, right? In all, Bird is a solid 4-star film with excellent performances by the entire cast. If you would like to see it, it is streaming exclusively on Mubi. Alrighty, so there we go. 62 down, 35 to go. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to the channel, click that like button, spread the word. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. And again, find lots of great information at my website, cinephilemike.com. All right. See everyone tomorrow as we wrap after week. But until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.